Hi gorgeous gals, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bailey. Feel free to hit that subscribe button, follow me on TikTok and Instagram to see more of me at Stewart at Instagram.com. Wait, what? I don't know why I said that. Let's get into today's video, which is going to be kind of a hodgepodge. DFYNE is dropping stuff left and right. I literally can't keep up. I'm so overwhelmed. So we have 3 drops in one review because they're so close together. I hadn't even gotten my DFYNE Impact collection yet, like in the mail, and then boom, there was the Vision drop, and then there was the Revive. So like, we're just gonna throw it all in one, okay? This is a little hodgepodge review. So we've got Vision, we've got the new Dynamic, and we've got the new Revive. Code Bailey saves you 10% off. This is already on the website, and they've been doing a lot better with stock. So a lot of this stuff is still in stock for you girlies to snag if you want. But again, code Bailey saves you 10% off. Also counts as an entry to my monthly giveaway, which I'll have linked down below. I love my girlies so much, so I love to do these every month to say thank you and express how grateful I am for you guys. But let's get into the review. They also have a Hannah Pearson drop, which will already be live by the time this video is up. And then they're already shooting for another drop. I'm like, hold up guys, let me catch up. So let's get into the review. I feel like we should start with Vision first, since I feel like that, like we already know about Dynamic. Vision is the newer one that I'm getting asked about a lot. So we're gonna start with that one. So all of the colors for Vision, we have Hibiscus, we have Cobalt, we have Umber, we have Rain, Dove, and then Black. So I got the Shrug, the bra, and the leggings. I didn't get any of the shorts, so I can't really speak on that. They're not bikers, they're 4.5. I prefer the leggings over the shorts if it's gonna be a 4.5 from DFYNE, so that's why I went with 3 of the leggings. I'll speak on the shorts from what my girlies on Discord have said, that a lot of the girlies returned them because they were rolling 10 times more than Impact. Keep that in mind because it's a stretchier, softer fabric. They are rolling a lot more. If that's gonna annoy you, definitely don't get the shorts. I know that would annoy me, so I'm kind of glad I didn't get the shorts. But we'll move into the leggings. So these have been, by pretty much every exclusive athlete, we've been told that these are better than Impact. They give the same Impact lift. I feel bamboozled. These do not, in my opinion, this is just again my opinion, give Impact lift at all. Now, it's compressive down the leg, however, it's not compressive right where it needs to be, and you don't get that dramatic lift like you do in Impact, especially OG Impact, and I'll do side-by-sides of course, but while it's tight in the leg, it's not tight enough to like Impact to where it's lifting. So stretchy compared to Impact that, again, I don't see where the lift is happening, which is really disappointing because I feel like even the newer Impact isn't doing that. So I'm like, what DFYNE was best known for, the BBL lift, we're not getting that anymore. So I'm really disappointed. I'm like, where did the lift go in all of their bottoms? But the waistband is also different from Impact. It's a crossover waistband that has no tiers to it. It's still mid-rise, mid to low, depending on your torso. I will say I do like the waistband better on this than Impact. I just like the compression and fabric a lot better on Impact. People describe this one as Impact lift but comfy. You can't have those in the same sentence. I'm sorry, but you can't say it's comfy but still give Impact lift. They cancel each other out. Impact is meant to be a little tight, not the comfiest legging to lounge in. That's what makes it Impact level BBL lift. So when people say, oh, it's comfier than Impact, I automatically know it's not gonna give me that same Impact lift, and then I'm sus. So keep that in mind. While they are comfier, that's because they don't give the same lift. It's so much stretchier, but I would say the fabric feels thicker and tighter in the leg than dynamic. It's also shorter glute friendly than dynamic, but I would say lift level is more so like dynamic than impact, to be honest. But again, waistband I like better than impact. It hits higher on the back, which I like, because sometimes with the mid-rise low waistband of impact, when I'm bending squatting, my underwear shows in the back. I have to keep pulling it up. But I love the front where it hits. So this is like, you kind of get best of both worlds. It's higher on the back, so you can bend squat. Your undies aren't gonna be out. It's not gonna hit too low. You don't have to keep pulling it up. However, the front, you still get that low to mid waistband. And because it's a cross waist, it brings in the waist, giving the illusion of a smaller waist. So I love a cross waist. And I feel like it stays up a lot better. Still very stretchy, so still lower compression, but I think it fits better than the impact waistband, I'll be honest. Still have the side define and back define logo like that. 94% nylon, 6% elastane, so again, a lot stretchier than impact. It still goes into a slicker glute pocket area. I also noticed that this is more average glute height friendly than short glute height friendly. Now keep in mind, I have very short glutes, so what most people would affect me doesn't usually affect most people, so keep that in mind. But because it's got more glute pocket space and the V-seam comes higher up, it does hit higher than impact on me, so potentially getting a little bit of excess fabric. Now, not as bad as dynamic, but it's noticeable. I prefer the glute pocket height area of impact better as a short glute girly. Now, those average glute height girly, the long glute height girly will prefer this, because it is, the glute pocket area is hitting lower on a lot of people, whereas impact, if you have longer glutes, can kind of chop your glutes in half or hit a little too high on the lower glute. This comes lower, so it will work a lot better for, again, longer glute gals. Is a new scrunch. Well, actually, it's not even a scrunch. Like, there is no scrunch in sight, but their technology actually really ate with this one, because it goes in the cheeks more than the impact scrunch. But as you can see, like, there's no scrunch, so it kind of like forms at the top, but then there's nothing there. But it goes in the cheeks like a scrunch, and goes in the cheeks more so than impact. So if you want a more invasive glute separation, you'll probably prefer this one. Now, also because it is stretchier than impact, inseam is a little bit better, more tall girl friendly. Now, it's still shorter, but it does come longer on. You've got no front seam, still a shorter crotch area, which I personally prefer as a short torso gal. Fabric is more so like dynamic, a little bit thicker than dynamic, but it is not that stiff OG impact feel or lift. So we have Orchid. All right, so here is Vision Extra Small in Hibiscus. So right off the bat, I do like the waistband more than impact. I think it brings the waist in, hits higher on the hips, but still lower right here. So still like good for short torso girls. And it's not like insanely tight compared to impact, but I do feel like how it's designed fits a lot better and makes my waist look smaller, kind of brings it in. And the back rise is higher, which I so appreciate, because I did notice in some of the impact, like when I would bend and squat, my underwear would show because of how low the back was. So overall, this rise and waistband beats impact for me. Now, when getting it on, it does feel snug. However, where it needs to be the tightest, I feel like it's too stretchy, and that is right under the glutes. While it's tight right here, I don't feel like it has that OG impact lift where it needs to be to really like lift the cheeks, and it's just too stretchy. Now, however, it does hit lower on the glutes, so this is going to be more ideal for longer glute girls. Like if you've tried impact and the compression hit too high on the cheek, this does come lower, so I do think you will prefer where the Vision hits versus impact. And because it's got so much stretch compared to impact, and I have very, very short glutes, this will probably be a pro for longer glute girls. But as a short glute girly, I'm getting excess fabric at the top. I don't feel like my glutes look as perky, because in impact it hits a little bit lower and is tight right here, so just really like perks up the top of my glutes. Whereas because this is so stretchy, it's just not really doing that because of the excess fabric up here. And again, it's not tight enough right here to really lift and squeeze up. Stretchy in the glute pocket area, which is kind of like, again, impact, dynamic. However, again, it's just not giving that OG impact lift. It's kind of fitting more like the new impact, the stretchier fabric, which you guys know I don't love. So these don't beat impact for me. However, they do beat dynamic. And I really like the new scrunch in this. Like, I like both scrunches, don't get me wrong, but this one does go in the cheeks a lot more. And it's crazy because there's literally no scrunch. So I think the design and technique that they did to create this was really cool. Still has a cut and sew waistband, just hits higher. Glute compression hits lower, so definitely more ideal for longer glute girlies. However, I think I'm still an impact girly. I think if they were to be able to make this OG impact material, these would beat impact, but they just have too much stretch to it. And for the purpose of the lifting, I know people like the stretchiness for comfort. However, it completely defeats the design and lifting aspect. So I personally would rather it be tighter than stretchier. So for me, that's why impact still wins. And again, it's just a little bit too high on, like, the V-seam is just a little bit too high for me, whereas impact is shorter. Now, inseam is much better than impact. Like, it hits a lot lower because of the stretch. So the taller girlies will now be able to do the leggings, which is a huge plus. But I just still feel like impact make the glutes give that wow factor, whereas I just don't feel like I'm getting that much wow factor in these compared to impact. Even side profile, you can see it's just not as snug as it needs to be right where the compression hits. We'll do my sticker squat test. I also got the Umber. I got 3 and I kind of regret it because I don't see myself pulling for these as much as I do my impact. But when people were saying it's like impact but better, I was like, well, I don't want to miss out. But since they've been doing better with stock, I'm gonna start taking it slower and not ordering every single color, because honestly, on launches, and again, I really wish they would let me review before launches, I feel like it's we're kind of gambling when we shop before launches, because I feel like the feedback I'm hearing is completely opposite than what I'm getting. And I'm like, well, now I have every single color and I'm not gonna pull for this, so I regret snagging them all. So from now on, newer collections, I'm gonna buy just like one of the pieces to review, and then if I like it, then go back for more. Here's Umber. I do love this color. It's a little bit warmer than Cocoa. That's why I snagged it for fall. I was like, this would be so cute. It doesn't give impact lift. I want Truffle Fit to come back, because Truffle Fit was peak impact lift, and that's the lift, that's the fabric, that's the fit that I want to come back. And imagine that fit in this for fall. You would be double cheeked up in your little Ugg boots and a sweater. But ever since the logo changed, impact changed. So it's got an indent logo on the inside, and even though it's like the smallest thing, I'm like, this is why the fit has changed. Something's changed, because it didn't used to have this sewed in thing, and I swear ever since the waistband started doing that is when everyone was like, this is too stretchy. I don't know, but I just want OG impact back. We have it in Umber. They all fit the same, like all the colors. I don't notice any inconsistencies, so that's kind of a plus, because with impact, I feel like every color fits so different. These are pretty consistent. The girlies that don't like tight lift, you probably prefer this. But yeah, same fit, the cross waistband ribbing, vertical ribbing, cross waist, hits higher up on the hips and then comes to mid to low, so your belly button does show. Higher back rise, so you don't have to worry about bending and squatting and undies being out. The very interesting no glute scrunch that does act like a scrunch, which I actually kind of like. It's again more long glute friendly, so higher glute pocket area, the V-seam hits higher. Pretty thick fabric like impact, however, it's too stretchy and slick compared to impact, so more like dynamic, just thicker than dynamic. Inseam is longer, so we'll hit longer on. Here are the Umber extra small leggings. So fits the same as the other colors. Again, extra small. does not give impact lift at all. Anytime someone uses the word, oh, it's like impact but comfortable, those two cancel each other out. Impact is tight. It ain't comfy, but I don't care. Like, it's not supposed to be comfy. It's supposed to lift my booty cheeks to the gods. Comfy and impact don't go in the same sentence, so right there kind of cancels each other out. So I guess I can see if someone was like, oh, this is better than impact if you want less lift and want something more comfortable. However, in my opinion, as someone who wants my booty cheeks lifted to the gods, these are not better than impact. They don't give nearly as much lift. Yeah, I like the waistband better, but these are too stretchy. It's tight throughout the leg though, but again, right where it matters, right under the glutes, it is so stretchy. It should not be that stretchy right here. It's supposed to be tight to lift, and it's not doing what impact does at all. It's made in Turkey. A lot of their new stuff that I haven't been loving has been made in Turkey at a new manufacturer, I guess. Again, I was told no new manufacturer, but I don't think that's true because all of their stuff is fitting so much stretchier, not giving the same impact lift, which is so disheartening because DFYNE is known for the impact and the insane BBL lift, and lately, like, none of their stuff has been giving that anymore. I am super disappointed about that. Now, again, I love the waist on these. They are comfy, but I don't feel like they lift my glutes as much. They're not as short glute friendly. They're more average glute height. I think longer glute girlies, again, will prefer this. If you have really short glutes like me, the V-seam's probably gonna come a little bit higher than impact, and I just feel like it doesn't make my top glutes look as perky because it comes higher and borderline excess fabric at the top. So I'm an impact girly, and it's gonna depend on your preference and probably your glute height. But I do like the back rise because when I bend and squat, I know my underwear is not coming out, whereas sometime in impact when I'm bending and squatting, I do have to keep pulling it up to prevent my underwear from showing. I just, again, wish it gave that OG impact lift, that stiffer, more durable fabric. This is a lot slicker and stretchier. Of course, we've got it in the rain, which is like a bluish gray. Here's extra small rain, comes higher up on the hips, comes to a V point. Say low tummy control, like it's very stretchy. No front seam. Decent inseam. As you can see, like, I just don't feel like it gives as much lift. It's too stretchy, still flattering, but it's not gonna give that impact glute lift. Has no scrunch, so the scrunch technique is very interesting. Like, technically there's no scrunch, but the way they've designed it, it still goes in the cheeks a lot more than like the impact scrunch, so I actually like the scrunch design. Shorts are going to be $57.50, but obviously 10% off with code Bailey. Leggings are going to be $67.50. And then we will move into the Vision sports bra. This is $47.50, so I only got one just because I wasn't loving the front. Coming again, quite a few colors. It's V-shaped scoop, medium support and coverage, invisible scrunch in front, flat crossback strap, supportive yet soft material, removable bust pads, 96% nylon, 4% elastane, whereas the leggings are 94. So a little bit different of a fabric to impact, which doesn't make sense. This kind of feels more so like DFYNE bra, like it feels like the DFYNE bra fabric. Very true to size. Here is the bra. So it fits very true to size. It's not too tight, not too loose, narrow chest friendly. It's just a bit boring. Like, I only got it literally to review. It's too much coverage for me personally, and I just feel like, again, like, not even that it's just like more, it's just like a very, I don't know, I just don't love the front. I don't love the design of it, but it's got this like, kind of like the impact, I think that's what I'm not liking. Like, it's just this is the scrunch that's on the bottoms, and they added it to the top, and I just think it looks, it's like, I don't know, it's just weird, like kind of like the Gymshark butthole scrunch, but like they added it to the top, and I'm just not loving it. It has a thin seam down here, very, very stretchy. So still lower support, but is more coverage. DFYNE logo right here, removable cups. And the straps are basically the same as the new DFYNE bra straps. So instead of them being round elastic, it's flat elastic. So I'm not loving the straps. Like, I feel like if you want this to be a more BTC coverage option, these little itty bitty straps would snap on a BTC girly. So I just feel like they should have had a better structured strap. I mean, I'm IBTC, so it's like fine, but I can't, like, it's just, I don't know, I just feel like the quality of the strap is not very good. The back is just crossover like that, non-adjustable straps, the logo in the middle. Because again, nothing's digging in, has good side boob coverage, front and under. We have the Vision Shrug, which is gonna be $42.50 in all the colors as well. I did go back after trying them on and buying every single color because I absolutely love them. They are my favorite boleros to date. Like, I hope they continue this style. I will buy every single color. Long sleeve, soft material, thumb holes, sculpting highlights, bolero style front, open back, 96% nylon, 4% elastane. So different material from the DFYNE shrug. Also, the DFYNE shrug goes across. I prefer it when it doesn't. You can wear it like this, but I prefer to wear it as a cap sleeve. I did extra small. It's much more true to size than the DFYNE shrug. Not as much excess fabric. It's also the seamless material like the leggings. So I love that it's a seamless material. Whereas the other one, DFYNE, kind of feels more so like Skims fits everybody fabric. I feel like this one will hold up better with sweat. But again, your pits are pretty free, so I wouldn't stress it too much. I love a cap sleeve bolero. I love that the thumb hole is very comfortable, not too tight, not too loose. Favorite boleros ever done. I would have loved to have done something like this in my collab for Buff Bunny, a seamless one to go with the Miracle, because I love a cap sleeve bolero. Not many brand, like they'll do the across one, like ALPHALETE's done that one, Buff Bunny's done that one, like DFYNE's done that one. I prefer this, a cap sleeve, and not even just like, again, you can make it like this if you prefer. I think this looks a lot cooler, and I love a cap sleeve. CSB has done a cap sleeve one, and they never brought it back, and I love it so much. So I like to wear it like this, and it stays put. I could do upper body, and it's staying put like this, and it's just, with the matching set, I love it. It's so cute. So here is the Umber Bolero extra small. I'm so glad I did extra small. You can wear it fully up, but I love it as a cap sleeve. Again, I really want more brands to do a seamless cap sleeve bolero like this. Like, it off the shoulders, it stays put so well. Like, I can work out just fine and it's not moving, but then it kind of like, it gives like an off shoulder vibe, and it's so much cuter in my opinion than like this. So I just love, and it stays put. Like, I need more brands to hop on this and be in seamless. So that is it for Vision. Overall, doesn't beat Impact for me. Still flattering, like it's more flattering, I would say, than Dynamic. However, I really miss the crazy BBL lift we used to get. And then we'll move into the Dynamic collection. We had Orchid, Dusk, Sage, Cocoa. Oh, that's it. We only had 4 colors. And we had the Dynamic Razorback bra, the strappy top, the shorts, 4.5, and then the leggings. So I got one of everything to try, except for I didn't get every single color. But I got Orchid leggings, extra small. If in between, I would say you could size down in Dynamic if you wanted a more aggressive lift, because in my true size I don't really see much lift. The waistband's like lower tummy control, so again, I don't think sizing down would make it too tight. It's just a straight, no tapered waistband that's vertical ribbing, no tiers. DFYNE logo right there. Again, this is ultra high rise on me. Depending on your torso, it might be high, but it's just really high on me. I don't like the rise. It's also more for long glute gals, because on me, my short glutes, I get excess fabric at the top. The scrunch comes higher. It's also a thicker scrunch and a more vertical seamed scrunch compared to Impact and Vision. But again, you've got the glute pocket area that goes into a stretchier, slicker fabric, and then it's not as thick as Vision or Impact. It's a lot slicker too. So you don't really get lift, like it's very low lift. So if your vibe is a less in your face you'd probably prefer dynamic. If you're wanting a more dramatic lift, you're gonna prefer impact for sure. Inseam, because it's stretchier, is longer than impact. You've also got a lot more crotch room, different scrunch. Again, just not my cup of tea. Fabric is 90% nylon, 10% elastane, extra small. Again, the waistband has changed as well, so it's a sewn in dynamic orchid. So again, the dynamic collection is ultra high rise to high rise, depending on your torso. On me, it's ultra high rise. Just a vertical ribbed waistband, no tiers like the impact. Very stretchy, I would say lower compression on the stomach. And again, because it hits so high, it's giving no lower tummy compression. A lot of crotch room. Glute area, I get excess fabric because it's definitely more for long glute gals. So if you have longer glutes, you might prefer this. If you have short glutes, you'll probably end up getting excess fabric right at the top. Only got one pair of leggings and shorts. It also has, again, a thicker scrunch, so a lot more in your face. And goes in the cheeks a little bit more, but I feel like pulls out easier because there's so much, like it comes too long on my glutes, so it pulls out easier. And if you have smaller glutes, I feel like the scrunch will be even more noticeable. Inseam is a little bit better than impact. Love this color. I just am not a big dynamic girly. Fabric for the most part feels the same. The glute area goes into a stretchier, slicker fabric, but dynamic overall is slicker and stretchier. Very little lift in dynamic. The sticker in to do my squat test, and it goes into a slightly thinner, stretchier fabric in the glute pocket area. But for the most part, I wouldn't stress sheerness too much, maybe unless you have like a glute tattoo. Even if you have a thigh tattoo, it goes into, again, a slightly thicker fabric that I wouldn't stress too much. And I got the Coco 4.5 shorts, more for longer torso gals or gals that like a higher rise or have longer glutes, want less lift. These do roll like crazy because the leg opening is a lot stretchier than impact. You've got the thicker scrunch that's got a little bit of ruching. Kind of reminds me of the Hannah Piercing scrunch now, which has that ruching. Also shorter in the leggings. Like even though the rise is still insanely high, the overall waistband right here is shorter than the leggings. So keep that in mind. However, rise is still high. Just for some reason, the ribbing's a lot longer in the leggings. Didn't really stress sheerness that much in these colors. Here are the dynamic extra small shorts in Cocoa. So they fit stretchier and a little bit bigger than the leggings. I don't like the fit. I don't see myself pulling for them because there's no glute lift. It's literally coming to my bra. So even as a set, no. And they roll. But again, dynamic's just not for me. If you like ultra high rise, very little glute lift, I would definitely say you'd probably like this. But as a girly who likes mid-rise, I like a tighter, more glute lifting effect. I personally prefer impact, and I again have short glutes, so I do just get a lot of excess fabric right up here because the V-seam goes higher than the top of my glutes. So then you just get excess fabric. I'm an impact lift girly, but I wanted to get Cocoa because I do love this brown. It's a very cool toned dark brown, and they like rarely do brown, so I wanted to snag. I don't see myself wearing these at my dynamic leggings, 59. These shorts are 49. And then we have the dynamic razorback bra coming in 4 colors. Definitely a higher coverage moment. Seamless design, front and back razorback design, high support, removable bust pads, subtle under bust contouring, 90% nylon, 10% elastane, ribbed underband. I would say it's better for BTC girlies that like more coverage. It's not personally my cup of tea because I prefer a more minimal moment, but I like that we now have higher coverage options. Has removable cups, no built-in shelf bra or anything, just this ribbing down here, then the DFYNE logo down here and in the back, and we have a razorback detail, longer line, higher neck, same dynamic fabric as their other bras. I would say this one's pretty true to size. I feel like their sizing for bras has gotten a little bit more true to size, whereas I feel like they used to run really big, but this is very true to size. It doesn't feel too tight or too big anywhere. I'd stick to your normal size. Here's the new high neck bra. I don't like this bra. I only got it to show you guys. It's too much coverage for me, but I know DFYNE has been lacking in higher coverage bras. So for the BTC girlies, or the girlies that want more coverage, I'm glad they did add this option in. I'm just more of a dainty itty bitty minimal girly. It's got the DFYNE logo right here, removable cups, high neck, same slick, stretchy, dynamic fabric. Back is a razor back like this. A little bit thicker, very, very comfortable. Like, it's extra small. I find it very true to size. It's not too tight. Doesn't feel too big anywhere either. So I definitely think you can stay to your normal size. We have the dynamic strappy top. Then I got extra small in this top as well, which also fits pretty true to size. Doesn't have adjustable straps, but I don't feel like I need to tighten them or anything. Like, they feel really good. It's got a built-in shelf bra, which I love, with removable cups. So I really like that feature. Low scoop neckline. It's more of a cropped length than meet and greet, so it comes right above my belly button. I do wish it was a little bit longer. Then you've got the DFYNE logo in the back. It's same slick dynamic fabric, but again, very true to size. Here's the tank. Tank is more of a cropped length, like it doesn't come to my belly button, which would be more meet and greet. I would say it's pretty true to size. Got a built-in shelf bra with removable cups, which I love. I would definitely snag more of these, I think. I just wish it was a little bit longer. I'm not a cropped gal, so I would have loved to have it be more meet and greet length. But I do love the neckline. The straps cross over, and then you've got this keyhole detail, the white DFYNE logo. Same dynamic material, so very stretchy. Like, if there was an extra small, I probably could have sized down, but for the most part, it's very true to size. Comfortable, straps fit pretty well. They're not adjustable though. I would love to see that feature. But I like cocoa. I feel like I'll be able to mix and match it with a lot. So I only got it in the brown. We have the Revive. So they had those bright sweat sets that dropped, which are all sold out. Dang. I got the chalk blue Revive wide leg joggers, which are $59. And then I got the matching hoodie, which is $72.50. Why is the hoodie more expensive than the sweats? Weird. I got small in both. The hoodie is double-ended zip, oversized fit, left chest tonal embroidered graphic, ribbed cuffs and hem, brush back inner fleece fabric, 67% cotton and 33% polyester. Revive wide leg joggers in chalk blue. I got size small. Oh, there wasn't a tall, that's why. Okay, but it's a really good inseam for a 5. I'm 5'4". Wide leg, oversized fit, left leg tonal embroidered graphic, side seam pockets, internal draw cords, brush back. Inner fleece fabric, 67% cotton, 33% polyester. So there's only one inseam. I also don't have it listed. That's so annoying. I'll pop the measurements though. I prefer when they list the inseam. So I got a size small in both. The sleeves on the hoodie are way too short, so size up if you have longer arms. When I raise them, you guys will see in the try on, they hit higher. It is a soft fleece that does transfer, but I think after a few washes, it won't happen anymore. And then I do quite like the logo. It's an embroidered tonal logo, and then it's a shorter line hoodie, pockets on both sides, elastic cuff at the bottom, hood, but doesn't have like a drawstring. I actually really like this. I would buy more. Again, I just feel like the sleeves need to be tweaked a bit because they're a little too short. And then the joggers only have one inseam, but as a 5'4" girly, they fit really well. They're not too short. However, if you're taller, they still need multiple inseams. Soft fleece inside as well. Drawstring, oversized fit. However, the tightest part is like right in the glute hip area, so it does feel a little restricting right there. So I kind of regret not sizing to a medium because of that compressed leg. While it's loose everywhere else, even the waist, right in the glute hip thigh area is just too snug and compressive. So it does feel a bit restricting when I bend and stuff. So I would have preferred probably a medium in these. But overall, I really like the design. It's got the seams down the side, which I really like. I love a straight leg. Love this blue. Again, anything in this blue gets me. I would definitely go back for the yellow and pink. I just would probably size up to a medium. It's a thinner fleece fabric, so not insanely thick, but definitely too warm for summer. All right, here is the Revive chalk blue sweat set, size small in both. Like, it's loose everywhere else, but then tight right here, which I hate. I hate when sweatpants are restrictive in the glute area, so when you like bend, like it's just so tight there and loose everywhere else. So I don't like that. But then the waist probably would have been too big in a medium. So sizing for me is a little off. But I love this blue. I love straight leg. Has the blue DFYNE sewed in embroidered logo right here on the left leg. Good inseam even when high rise. So I'll measure because I'm really not sure if I got tall or regular because it's not saying on the package. But for me as a 5'4" girly, these are a really good inseam, surprisingly. You've got the pleats down the leg, which I really like. Pockets on both sides. Drawstring, again, it's just quite snug on the glutes. I wish they would have taken that out a little bit more since they're gonna make it an oversized fit. And then it is soft fleece inside, but thinner material. Soft on the outside. And then the zip is a little bit longer line than I thought. I don't mind the sizing. There's also 2 zips, but it keeps getting stuck. And it's like the kind where you can split it, but it's tricky zipper. And it's got the elastic band, so I went with a small because I wanted it a little bit smaller to give like a more fitted look. And it's soft fleece inside as well, but the sleeves are quite short. Like I do any bending, raising my arms, and the sleeves become like this. So the sleeves are not long enough, so I hope they make them longer because they're way too short. Has pockets on both sides. Love this color, love the soft fleece. The fleece does transfer, but I feel like after a few washes it'll be fine. I'm glad I got a small. Has a hood, no drawstring though. Overall, really like this color, love this set. Love anything, again, blue, baby pink, or even the yellow gets me. Like I definitely could go back for the yellow next. I would say if in between have thicker thighs to size up in the joggers. Inseam's pretty good. If you have longer arms, size up in the hoodie because the sleeves are shorter. All right guys, that is everything for this DFYNE review. I hope it was helpful. Everything is on site, ready to shop. Some of the items are sold out, but majority of the stuff is still in stock. We went through Vision, we went through Dynamic and Revive, and you'll probably be seeing another DFYNE review from me very shortly. Again, code Bailey, it means the world if you use it. Save you 10% off and help support me with the brand and keep these reviews coming. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for y'all's support. Don't forget, if you use my code, make sure to enter my monthly giveaway, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.